Okay, y'all, so I decided to come out here and talk to y'all. Which I thought I had made this video already. I must did, but let me go right here and talk to y'all real quick. So y'all, yesterday, y'all know I left to go for my visit. But I made this the visit video yesterday. I guess it didn't upload or something. I don't know. That damn Jeep truck again. Damn, that truck ugly. But so I went for my visit to go spend some time with my dude yesterday, and everything went good. Oh, I know what it was. I put a little piece of it on Facebook, and I didn't put it on here. But so I was gonna go check, but it's too early. Yeah, so we was just talking or whatever about certain things, and I had to tell him about what happened to me last weekend. I didn't want to tell him because kind of knew how he was gonna take it, but otherwise everything went great, like really good. I was gonna sit on the stairs down here, but I don't know. Yeah, I got a headache. Just sit my ass right here for a little bit. But yeah, so everything went good. It was like we talked about life, we talked about us, and the thing, which is what a piece of what I posted on Facebook. But I asked him, I said, first, where have you been all my life? Or like, why? I couldn't have met you way earlier than we had already met. And then I was like, you should have been my high school sweetheart. And he was talking about the picture I sent him when I was like 17, 18. I was like, then I told him, I was like, well, if we would have went to the same high school together, people been fighting every day up there. I'm telling you, there was a fight so often. Even if it wasn't like every day, people was just fighting for no reason. But yeah, then he was like, after he mentioned that picture I sent him, he was like, you know what? He was like, I'm trying to tell you, you'd have been my boo back then. I'm like, okay. I'm like, well, hell, we probably would have had several children. Well, not several. We probably had a child back then, and I probably would have been a teen mom back then. Hell, I don't know. But hey, it was a lot of them when I went to school. I remember quite a few teen moms from when I was in high school. But then the next part we talked about was, he was like, after that I was like, why couldn't I have met you sooner? He was like, we had to go through, both of us had to go through our own individual heartbreak and everything. We had to go through our own heartbreak, our being cheated on, lied to, and all that extra stuff and everything that come with it, and to live our teenage years, live a piece of life, live our life, and go through everything we did so we can make it to each other. I'm like, aw, that is so sweet. He's like, but now all we can do is look at the fact where we at now. Well, all that led us to. All that heartache eventually led us to each other. He said, but things happen the way they do for a reason. So I'm like, yeah, you're right. Things do happen for a reason. And then we talked about my uncle's situation, the situation with my uncle. He was like, I don't like him. I don't like the way he acted. I don't like the way he treats you. I'm like, you ain't the only one that said that. Well, I was like, he ain't the only one that said. Then he was like, well, the reason why he act like that is because people keep making excuses for him. People keep letting him get away with things. So he feel like since they let him get away with it the first time, he gonna keep doing it because he gonna keep getting away with it. Ain't nobody gonna make him responsible for his own actions. I'm like, I said the exact same thing. I really said the exact same thing. That makes no sense that you let this grown ass man keep talking the way he's talking, keep doing people the way he doing, keep saying shit that he's saying, and nobody says anything about it. And when they do say something about it, it's them making fucking excuses for it. Like, why? Why are you making excuses for this grown ass man? Y'all okay in everything he don't own. They're like, oh, well, you know how he is. Like, yeah, you know how he is. Just look over him, huh? Don't worry about him. Don't let him get to you. No. He needs to be made responsible for. I'm going to go back this way. He needs to be made. I'm going to go sit on stairs. But he needs to be made responsible for his own actions. You can't nobody else just go and do shit and say shit to random people and talk to random people any kind of fucking way they want. And have things be like, and just people just excuse them. They actually changed his clothes today. But yeah, if I can't do it, then he shouldn't do it either. If I'm responsible for my own actions and people gonna hold me accountable for the shit that I do, then he needs to be held accountable for the shit that he do. You can't just sit there and do that. Be like, oh, just look over him, huh? You know how he is. Don't worry about him. No. That's what I told him. I said, you can't do that. I don't care if he do have issues. There's other people that have all types of fucking issues. But you don't see them making his ass, you don't see them, people making excuses for them. And being like, oh, well, just don't worry about it. Don't worry about that. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck you mean, don't worry about it? No. You don't do that. So, it's okay to just do shit and say shit and get excused for it just as long as you got mental problems or you got issues, period. Hell, there's several other people. There's people all out there in the world that's having a lot going on. You don't see people making excuses for them. You don't see people saying, oh, well, just don't worry about them. They just pray for them. Just don't worry about them. Just look over them. No. You don't do that. People, you can't. So you mean to tell me it's okay for him to go into a store and just do something and people ain't going to make him responsible? No. If he do something, if he steals something, just hypothetically speaking, if he go and steal something out of a store, they going to call the cops. And I'm not finna if you tell the cops, oh, well, he just got a mental problem or he got issues, he going through a lot, don't worry about it. Well, I'm not going to take on that responsibility. He's not my responsibility. If he has a mental problem, then why is he living by himself? Why the state was like, okay, well, he fine living by himself? Because that's exactly what the lady said. She was like, oh, he could live by himself. He know he got to pay fucking bills, so. Yeah, I don't know, y'all. But yeah, that's my dude was like, you can't just be okay with, you can't just do that. He was like, ain't nobody ever held him accountable. Ain't nobody ever held him accountable for the shit that he do or the shit that he say.